That was Candidate, directed by Amos Poe. Orian, let's turn to you now, because this music is a world that you've inhabited quite deeply for quite a long time. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got involved in this world?
I was born in Mississippi. I was raised in Houston, Texas, and we were isolated from anything that was from Manchester and certainly this country. And I worked at a record store, and I was introduced to Joy Division through another band called New Order, you may have heard of. So that was kind of my introduction to Joy Division. And I was just, it was so different and unique than that band. And I met New Order in '85 at some concert in Austin, and I was just kind of, intrigued by the people, but then just this atmosphere of the music. And I became sort of more focused on Joy Division, but also the aesthetic of that band, including this record, but the images from, Anton Corbijn, who photographed them. And that sort of stuck with me and resonated. And that was, I was just a teenager in the '80s. But then as I moved into producing films, I always felt that it would be pretty cool to work with my favorite photographer, Anton, about a band that I loved. And somehow, by miracle, and 10 years later, it came to life.
This record really did change your life, just like I was just saying about.
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah. What, for you, this idea of taking the visuals and taking the music and putting them together in a new way, I mean, did you have any ideas of what you wanted or what you didn't want when you started helping out on this project?
Well, Warren Jackson and I had talked, we've been friends for a little while and been talking about this project and just coming up with ideas, I mean, you can kind of connect with, there's so many different directors out there that have visions, certainly, that come from different countries, and you just don't know what you're going to get sometimes. But that was the beauty of it, I thought, was just kind of just see what comes from that. The music connects, in my mind, I had a vision, and then certainly some of the directors that we started talking to came up with a different vision. And then their vision evolved as they got into it and started thinking about it. I just got excited about it. And I thought, well, what an opportunity to start expressing, things in my mind through other people that I love. I mean, photographers, directors, people from Japan and Iceland and different countries, just kind of their interpretation of it. It was just really exciting. I was excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's actually quite a rare thing for some bands doing, like, revisiting an album or a piece of work. It's almost like a hallowed text that you can't change. You can't think about it in a new way. We have to just have the same cover.
Well, so many people, they don't, the other movies I made about musicians, they don't, fans don't want to see a movie made about them because it's going to disrupt the image that they have of the artist. And I think when, we first started talking about this, Stephen, it was we had to be quite careful with how we moved through the process because, the band had different versions of who I think they thought Ian was. I mean, I had my version. I thought, this guy's super dark, and wow, he must be really weird. But yet, you hear he was just a great guy.
That was one of the problems with Ian.
Right.
If we knew who he was, we wouldn't be here now.
Right, exactly right.